Streets of Oakland, California, where dreams often fade into shadows. One man's name evokes both fear and admiration: Felix the Cat Mitchell. He was more than just a drug lord. He was a complex figure, a protector, an innovator, and ultimately, a tragic hero caught in the relentless tide of crime. His story is one of ambition, resilience, and the high price of power. Felix Mitchell was born on August 23, 1954, into a world already steeped in adversity. The San Antonio Village neighborhood of Oakland, where he grew up, was notorious for its rundown homes and pervasive poverty. Families struggled to survive in a place where opportunities were scarce, and despair hung heavy in the air. After World War II, Oakland had transformed. Factories that once thrived on military contracts closed their doors, leaving thousands without jobs. The economy crumbled, and the African American community, lured to the city for work, found themselves trapped in a cycle of unemployment and crime. Felix was the second of 6 children in a large family, a fact that often made life more challenging. His parents worked hard, but the economic pressures weighed heavily on them. As a child, Felix showed promise in school, often excelling in his studies. However, the allure of the streets proved stronger than the call of academia. At just 17, he made a fateful decision. Instead of pursuing education and a legitimate future, he turned to the streets and began selling drugs. Initially, he sold marijuana around the local Oakland Coliseum, mingling with the crowds and quietly making a name for himself. But soon his ambitions would lead him into the darker corners of the drug trade, where the stakes were significantly higher. Felix's entry into the world of heroin was not merely a personal choice, it was shaped by the environment around him and the people he encountered. He married into a family with deep ties to local crime, specifically to Tody Ree, a notorious criminal mastermind in the area. Ree recognized Felix's potential and opened the door to the heroin business. Under Ree's wing, Felix quickly adapted to the ruthless world of drugs, learning the ins and outs of the trade and the importance of forging alliances. With newfound ambition, Felix founded the 60N Mob, a gang that would become infamous throughout Oakland. His innovative approach to the drug trade was revolutionary. Unlike many of his contemporaries who operated in a disorganized manner, Felix established a network of dealers that allowed for a distribution system that kept them insulated from law enforcement and rival gangs. He employed a unique strategy where money and drugs were never exchanged in the same location, creating a complex web that provided an additional layer of protection for his crew. The money flowed, and Felix thrived, turning his criminal enterprise into a well-oiled machine. Felix's success didn't come without a price. Operating from a fortified apartment, he transformed a stretch of his neighborhood into a fortress. Armed guards watched over him, ensuring loyalty and secrecy among his crew. The neighborhood itself was transformed into a no-go zone for outsiders. The power dynamics shifted, with Felix at the center, controlling every aspect of his empire. Those who dared to intrude or challenge his authority faced severe repercussions. However, Felix knew that to maintain his empire, he needed the support of the community. He was acutely aware that the loyalty of the locals was crucial for his business to thrive. To that end, he distributed food, toys, and pocket money to local children, becoming a Robin Hood figure in the eyes of many, even as he built a criminal empire. He organized community events, offering fun and festivities, ensuring that the locals viewed him not just as a drug dealer, but as someone who genuinely cared for their well-being. Felix's rise to power brought wealth and a lifestyle most could only dream of. He flaunted his success with luxury cars, expensive clothes, and lavish parties. A fur coat or a long leather jacket, flashy sunglasses, and gold chains adorned his figure, projecting an image of power and success that captivated those around him. Yet, behind the glitz was a dangerous world filled with violence and betrayal. As he expanded his territory, he began distributing heroin not just in Oakland but throughout California, even as far as Detroit, amassing an estimated $500,000 a week. However, his growing influence did not go unnoticed. It attracted fierce competition and unwanted attention. The Black Panthers, a civil rights organization once renowned for their advocacy for African Americans, sought to impose their will on the drug trade. They believed that drugs enslaved the very people they fought to uplift. When they attempted to extort Felix, he responded with defiance. A violent confrontation ensued, leaving a mark on his reputation and solidifying his position as a formidable force in Oakland. Felix, unwilling to be bullied, pushed back against the Panthers, resulting in bloodshed. The conflict heightened tensions within the community, leading to escalating violence, but Felix emerged with his reputation intact. In the eyes of many, he was a defender of the community, a man who fought for his place against anyone who dared to challenge him. However, it wasn't just the Panthers who posed a threat. Rival gangs like the Mickey Mo Gang and the Funktown Gang were eager to claim a piece of the lucrative drug market. The summer of 1980 became notorious, dubbed Bloody August, where violence erupted, leading to multiple deaths and even the kidnapping of Felix's son. In this brutal world, alliances shifted, and trust was a luxury few could afford. Felix's world was now one of paranoia and betrayal, where friends could quickly become foes. As the bloodshed escalated, so did the scrutiny from law enforcement. Federal agents watched closely, gathering intelligence on Felix's operations and the gang's activities. He realized the walls were closing in around him. In a bid to evade capture, he relocated to San Fernando Valley, attempting to distance himself from the chaos of Oakland. But fate had other plans in store. During a brief visit to Oakland in 1984, while checking on an injured associate in the hospital, he was arrested. The investigation against him was extensive and relentless. Law enforcement had spent years gathering evidence against Felix and his gang. While he wasn't directly linked to any murders, the judge made it clear the violent acts committed in his name were undeniable. In 1985, Felix Mitchell was sentenced to life in prison, marking a dramatic turn in his life and the unraveling of his empire. With his imprisonment, many of his rivals also found themselves behind bars. The tides had turned in the ongoing battle for dominance in Oakland's drug scene. But the streets of Oakland were far from quiet. Without Felix's firm grip on the drug trade, chaos ensued. The power vacuum left in his absence led to a surge of violence as younger, more ruthless gangs fought for control. The very community Felix had sought to uplift was plunged into a new era of lawlessness, filled with gang wars and increasing crime rates. Felix Mitchell's life came to a tragic end just 2 days before his 32nd birthday in 1986. In prison, a seemingly trivial dispute over a $10 fruit purchase escalated into violence. A young inmate seeking revenge for a past slight attacked him, stabbing Felix multiple times. As rumors spread, whispers of rival gang involvement and debts owed to prison drug dealers clouded the narrative surrounding his death. Whether it was a mere prison altercation or something more sinister remains a topic of debate. His funeral on August 29, 1986, became a flashpoint of controversy. Thousands attended, with some mourning a man they viewed as a protector and benefactor, while others questioned why a drug dealer was being honored in such a grand manner. The atmosphere was charged, reflecting the dichotomy of Felix's legacy. Among the mourners were agents from the Drug Enforcement Administration, arriving in a confiscated Ferrari, a stark reminder of the duality of Felix's life and the tangled web of admiration and disdain he inspired. With Felix's passing, the gang he built began to disband and the streets became a battlefield once again. Sociologists coined the term Mitchell's paradox, observing that crime rates often surged after the removal of a powerful gang leader. Felix's departure left a void that many sought to fill, but none could maintain the fragile order he had established. His influence, once a unifying force, was now a distant memory as chaos engulfed the community. His legacy extended beyond the streets of Oakland. A year after his death, his conviction was overturned, and his assets were returned to his family. The legal system recognized that his passing complicated the judicial processes surrounding his case, and the implications of that were profound. Felix's life became a source of inspiration for the 1991 film New Jack City, which portrayed the struggles and complexities of the drug trade that he embodied. Felix the Cat. Mitchell's story is a profound reflection on ambition, community, and the tragic consequences of a life lived in the shadows. He was a product of his environment, a man who sought power and respect in a world that often denied him both. His story serves as a lens through which we can examine the systemic issues that plagued not just Oakland, but many urban communities across America. As we remember Felix, we're left to ponder the complexities of human nature and the choices that define our lives and those around us. His journey from a promising student to a feared drug kingpin exemplifies the harsh realities many face in their pursuit of success and the lengths some will go to in order to escape their circumstances. The story of Felix Mitchell serves as a stark reminder of how the quest for power can lead to one's downfall and how the very streets he ruled became a reflection of the chaos and uncertainty that followed in his wake. In the end, Felix Mitchell's life reminds us of the fragility of power and the heavy toll it exacts. It raises questions about the true cost of ambition and the haunting legacies that linger long after one's time has ended. Felix the Cat. Mitchell may have fallen, but his story remains etched in the history of Oakland, a cautionary tale of rise, reign, and ruin.